Hello, everybody. This is 5.3 solving percent problems. And let's get into it. So find the number in each case. If helpful, use this formula. So we're going to use this a little bit, this idea that percent over 100 equals is over of. So often in these problems, we're going to see the word is and of, and we can kind of use this relationship here to solve some of the problems. So let's try it for the first one. So 30% of a number, we don't know what that number is, so we can represent it with a variable like x, and it's saying it is 12. So we put our 30%, the percent over 100, so I'm just putting this information over here. And that equals it's saying is 12 out of we don't know. So of a number, this is our mystery. I could put an X, or you could think about it as like a question mark. So that's what we're trying to find. And now we can do this thing called cross multiplying and dividing. And when you're going to write it here, cross multiply and divide, I always look diagonal and I multiply the two that are a number. So I multiply those ones and you divide by the third one. So we're going to end up doing in our calculator 12 times 100 divided by 30, and that's going to equal this question mark. So let's do that now. Get my calculator. 12 times 100 equals 1200 divided by 30 equals 40. So our kind of unknown, or x, equals 40. And I should say, one thing that's really important in this unit is, and one thing that I'm supposed to teach you and then I'm supposed to kind of assess you on, is estimating reasonably. And so let's see, does that make sense? Does it make sense that 12 is 30% of 40? I would say that does, right? Half of 40 is going to be 20. And then so, less than that is going to be 30. Or less than that is going to be 30%, or 12. So I would say that answer makes sense. Okay, let's try another one. We're looking for 2% of a number is 9. So we're expecting the number to be quite a bit bigger than 9, because 9 is only going to be 2% of that number. But let's use our formula here. We're going to put the 2 where the percent is. So I'm using this formula right here. So I put 2 where the percent is, and that's over 100, equals is 9. So I'm putting the is into the top here, and we're not sure what that number is. So I can represent a kind of unknown value in math with a letter, or a thing called a variable. And so now we're going to cross multiply and divide. So I'm going to look diagonal. I'm going to multiply the two that are both numbers. So I'm not going to multiply the 2 and the x because the x isn't a number. So I'm not going to divide by that one or multiply. And I'm going to divide by this third one. So what we end up doing in our calculator is 9 times 100 divided by 2. And then we'll get 9 times 100 equals, divided by 2 equals 450. So does it make sense that 9 is 2% of 450? I would say it does, right? So it's a very small fraction of that whole number, a very small chunk of that whole number. So we expect it to be quite a bit bigger than 9. And I would say that does make sense. Let's try again. So we have 150% this time, so we can still put 150, and it's still going to be over 100. That part doesn't change. And it still is 60, so that's going to go on the top. And the of is the part that we don't know. So that's our x. I'm going to show you kind of all of the steps, what's actually happening when we cross multiply and divide, because you can think about it in a way, we actually are multiplying across each way. And it would end up looking like this. So if I show it kind of all of our steps, we have 150 times x we can show as 150x. I'm going to scroll. Equals 60 times 100, which is 6,000. Okay, so I did that first part where I multiplied 60 by 100. And now to get the x by itself, we divide by 150 on both sides. If you'll notice, now we have 150 as a fraction over 150, which equals 1. So that's why we can say x is going to equal 6,000 divided by 150. So 6,000 divided by 150 equals 40. So x equals 40. And does that make sense? 150% of a number is 60. So it does make sense because we expect the number to be smaller than 60. We're going all of the 40 plus another 50% of it. So it's like 40 and plus 50% of it, which would be 20. That does equal 60. So I'd say that answer makes sense.